Okay, hopefully you guys can hear us. We'll get any technical issues out of the way first before we jump into everything, but thank you for stopping by and watching this. We've got everything set up, so we're ready to play through sort of a shorter version of Swords of the Coin and some of the stuff, go over some of the stuff we're working on. But hopefully you guys can hear me. And welcome everyone who's here. I have a few notes here of things to go over. First and foremost, feel free to ask any of your questions in the chat. We will do our best to acknowledge and answer chat as we're streaming and playing. So if you are confused by something we do, especially between rounds, we'll check and make sure we go over any rule confusions or strategy things as best we can. We'll also have an open Q&A sort of a little bit here at the beginning and some at the end as well if we have extra time, where you guys can ask whatever you want about what's going on with Set a Watch. So with that out of the way, the first thing I wanted to talk about is what this stream's all about, the sort of global shipping stuff we've been going through, and where we are with Set a Watch. So first things first, thank everyone so much who's watching this or has contributed and helped with the increased shipping costs that not only us but all publishers are dealing with. Your initial surge and confidence in this sort of fundraiser has helped us move forward, and I'm happy to report that as of an email I got this weekend, it seems like we have a ship booked, at least for the US, Australia, and China, sort of all locked down. So after this stream and over the next week, I'll post this stream and I'll post a Kickstarter update with more details on all the information. The last email I got, we're still figuring out Europe, but and obviously we haven't hit our goal, so hopefully we can continue to gain some steam and momentum. But anything that we fall short of at this time, you guys certainly showed enough confidence in us that we're willing to take the hit as far as any difference in funds goes. So I hope to have dates and fulfillment information and ship tracking information for you guys very soon, certainly within the next week or two. European people, you may need to wait a little bit longer, since that is a little more up in the air from what I'm hearing. I think we had a boat but then got booted off, and pricing is so crazy. We're still trying to be financially responsible with it. So but we're making progress, and I filled out some paperwork to release stuff to the European forwarder, so hopefully we're gonna go with somebody else, or I'm working with Games Quest, so maybe they can combine us with another shipment or something, and we can get in there. So without further ado, I guess we can move on to sort of our playthrough of Swords of the Coin. We have the only production copy that's in existence or in anyone's hands at this point. So it's a little bit nicer than some of the digital prototypes we were playing with before for some of our other videos. And before we do that, I just want to say that we'll be playing with Swords of the Coin characters, but we're going to be playing a 5-round game because we are working on what will become the next Set a Watch expansion, and we're looking at having some sort of campaign elements with shorter games and longer games mixed together in sort of a region. We have some characters that we're working on. We won't be playing with, but we have some prototype characters that we're printing out, and we'll be play testing in Origins in a couple weeks when we have a bigger group of people. So I guess without that, is there any other questions before we move on to some gameplay? I'll turn it over to Todd more when we're talking, since he's closer to the game. He can. Yeah. I'm sort of the computer man.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, one, thanks for all your support helping get the game shipped. I appreciate it. And two, what we're going on here is we're trying to get a campaign with shorter games so you can basically save your progress, put it away, move on, and then when you come back, you can jump right in again. So you don't have to do a long 9-round game every time. Part of that is you're going to be able to save your progress. So you'll save your magic items, you'll save your active abilities, and then your inactive abilities or your damage, you'll still have that to deal with between games. So that'll be part of the game, is swapping out your characters to manage the characters who are healthier and characters who are hurt.
And each region will be a set number of location cards. So you'll sort of set up the location deck, and then you'll be set with having the same location deck for all the missions in that region. So the idea is sort of you can work on completing that region. When you complete that region, you'll open up new regions. But when you're within that region, you won't have to change the creature deck and location deck and your cards a lot. You'll be able to just sort of pick up and play. You can play 3 short games in a row, or play 1 short game and put it away and bring it back.
Yeah, so you'll pay if you wanted to play one whole section before you had to shuffle your creature deck, you probably like 3 or 4 games, and then you'll rebuild a new creature deck for the new region you're going to go to, and we'll have that all mapped out for you.
Okay, Anvaville, are there any problems with orders that contain more than 1 game? No, there's not. Everything that was part of the add-ons in the Pledge Manager for Set a Watch was either in our hands already, or is in our hands now, or was being produced with Set a Watch. So Merchants of Magic, Set a Watch Deluxe, the original Set a Watch and Swords of the Coin were all manufacturing and are coming on the same boats. And then add-ons like Lawyer Up are in our warehouse currently. So we should have plenty of stock to get them all to the right places and locations. There shouldn't be any issues with it. Okay, I'm going to switch cameras, hopefully smoothly, so you don't have to look at our faces as much. You can see the game better. We're still here, but you can watch the game a little bit better. We've pre-picked characters, so I'm going to be over here. I'm playing as the Witch with D4 dice, and then the Artificer. And the Artificer starts with this Artificer Staff, which is sort of an unbreakable item with 8 charges and has a passive ability on it. So I'll be playing as the Artificer, and then Todd, you can go over.
Yep. I have the Barbarian and the Bounty Hunter. The Barbarian, what's special about her is she can only exhaust to use abilities. You can't spend die on abilities for her. So, but she has D12 to spend on combat. So she always gets tired using her abilities, but she has beefier dice for straight combat. And the Bounty Hunter is I have to actually kill creatures from the line and collect them to be trophies, and I can use those for different things. Like, for example, Expertise as a passive. If I have the same creature type as one in the line as a trophy, I can double the damage against it. So that's just an example of something the Bounty Hunter.
Yeah, we've got the Merchant set up with her. The starting items we have, you just sort of fill in her slots. So those are things we can buy. And we don't start with any coins, but we have coins at each location for the first person to go to camp.
And so we have all the coins set up, and then every action we take is going to grant us a coin that we can do a group buy with. And anything we don't use in the camp is going to build another coin on it. So things we don't do over time will build coins on them.
All right, so I guess we should roll, right?
Yep. Five, 8, 8 for the Barbarian. 2, 7, 8 for the Bounty Hunter.
Which is pretty bad. 1, 1, 4, and then 6, 4, 2 for the Artificer.
So we revealed our first location. You see that? This is the one we put in to make games a little easier if you're having a hard time or you're new to the game. So I wanted to showcase that. So this is it. But if you're not doing that, you can just add it as a respite into the deck. So we have Outskirts Inn. During the camp phase, each adventurer may perform an equip action. So no matter who goes into camp, the rest of us could swap out one of our abilities if we choose to. So now we have to pick who's going to go into camp. And since it's a 5-round game, every character only gets to go once.
I mean, I've got a 6. I could heal.
Yeah, we can use that. I'm down with that.
Okay. So we'll do Artificer to camp.
All right, so you get your token. Going once.
I'll heal, and when I place this, I get this coin. And Todd and I usually just put it on the merchant as sort of our purse,
Right.
so we know what to spend.
Do you want to get your omen back?
Well, let's heal myself first, because sometimes I
Yep.
forget to do that.
Yep.
And then, no, let's heal Barbarian, because
Alright.
Barbarian always exhausts herself to do stuff.
Okay. Heal Barbarian. And I would like to use the thing while you're in camp now to swap out Barbarian Stone Throw for Bloodied.
Okay. I'm also going to swap out my transform ability for Hex for the Witch. I'm going to take that for your equip action. What else should we do? Let's chop firewood. Always good. Go up 2. And then I'm going to... I always like to scout ahead on the first. So if there's anything really bad here, you know, we see it. See, look.
Yeah, so we got a couple first position nasties.
So I guess I can be the card camera. We've got Frostworm and Crawling Ooze. Both not great. Crawling Ooze is immune to direct attacks, and we can discard an item to defeat it. So I hate that. So we don't have items to discard, and we don't. It's immune to direct attacks.
I think we buried both of them. Take our chances.
Put them both at the bottom.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't like the first position, and Ooze is.
Ooze is tricky.
Ooze is a tricky character monster to fight.
Okay, we have 3 coins. So now one of the new phases of the game is now we sort of have the merchant phase after we do the camp actions. So as the person resting in camp, I can talk to our traveling merchant here, and I could purchase things. I could purchase something from them.
Right.
So the only thing we can afford is the fiery pendant. So what do we think? Do we want that? It helps our fire.
I think it's actually pretty good considering we're going to be going in blind on this turn.
Okay.
So
I'll spend our coins to buy the fiery pendant.
I'm
And
going to take it on the witch.
I'm going to give it to you.
Give it to me?
I'll give it to one of your guys.
Right.
When you buy an item, you have to give it. A character gets it and equips it, and you can't change it once you've decided who to give it to. And each character can only hold.
Let's say we give it to the barbarian.
Can each character only hold 2?
Yep.
And then.
But you can swap out. So if you buy one, you don't like one, you just discard that and replace it.
Right, and you can buy as much as you can afford, which is not a lot on the first turn. So we refresh this.
So you have another one now for this turn.
And then the last phase of the merchant is everywhere I didn't put a dice,
you get another coin.
Gets a coin.
So now equip and check map become a little more lucrative for the next rounds.
And you know what I didn't do? I didn't even think about using my
camp.
That's okay though.
Not that you made your choices.
Yeah, I made my choice.
So now we have first round. We only have 7 creatures to deal with.
Garvey, the delivery time for Canada will be about a week or 2 after the United States. So typically we bring in our games. I think this time, typically we bring it into Indianapolis, our warehouse there. But with all the craziness of shipping, there's a warehouse we're going to use in Oregon to get them off of the ship sort of right into a fulfillment center faster because trucking and training is so difficult. And they'll probably fulfill from Oregon this time, where usually they fulfill from sort of the middle of the country. But we will truck it from Oregon up into Canada to the fulfillment center up there. So it'll be like a week or 2 after the USA. Other questions. Is there any mechanic to refresh the shop if there isn't an item available for purchase for your party can make use of?
Yeah. Well, if you don't buy anything, you're automatically going to draw a card and put it on top of one of the other cards there. So you're always going to have one new choice in the shop if you don't buy anything.
Was there a choice not to include a spot on the character cards to include the items?
I think a lot of that was just because we already had character boards out in the world that did not have item spots on it, and we didn't want to have mismatched sets. So everybody has the same cards no matter what game you have.
Yeah, honestly, we never even talked about it. Yeah. We just sort of knew we were locked into what we had to be consistent. Okay. How many creatures are we revealing? I think we're ready to go.
Yeah, so we're at 9 in the campfire, so we're going to reveal the first 2 on the time. Scarecrow. It's an ongoing effect. It's 5 health. Each adventurer resolving a direct attack against the Scarecrow must use their highest available die. So not that tough, but it makes you use a tougher die to fight it. And Goblin Scouts, 7. When you defeat it, you get to reveal another creature in the line.
Okay.
So not too bad.
So we want to kill him. That's pretty good to kill.
Yeah. Well, I want to start collecting some stuff with the Bounty Hunter here.
Uh-huh.
If I attack the Golem, I have to use my highest die.
Yeah, which is bad
for economy.
Well, what if I mean, my witch is not going to be a very powerful combatant with only D4s. Mm-hmm. I do have my cat familiar that can attack. But the abilities I've chosen, I've got Premonition, peek at X creatures, where X is the die value I spent. Defeat one whose health is equal to or lower than the sum of your total die results. So the question is, my total die results are only 6.
Well, either way, though, I do need to start building trophies.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Be useful. So I still think even though I have to spend 8, it might be worth it.
What if I killed... I mean, I could kill it with the cat familiar, though. The cat can attack for 5 damage in first position. I mean, that's a perfect.
Yeah, okay.
And your range, too. I mean, you could kill the
goblins.
goblins.
Try the next one. Yep, let me see what's next.
So do you want me to kill the Scarecrow with the familiar?
I think you should kill it.
Okay, I'll use the cat familiar to kill the Scarecrow.
Okay.
I'll just tap the cat so I know I used her.
Up. Yeah. Coffin Rat Swarm. Undead. Rat Swarm's health is increased by the number of unrevealed creatures in the line. So right now it's a 5 plus 4 and 9.
It's a 9. When the cat familiar attacks, I can look at the top card of the creature deck. So we have a Frost Worm coming in first position next round. Okay. If we don't scout ahead. I'm going to use my Premonition.
All right.
I get to look at the 4 creatures, so we get to see what they're all, what's coming, and then anything under a 6 I can kill. Nope. Can't kill that. Can't kill that. Can't kill that. But we know what's coming.
Yep. Right, so how about I exhaust leap?
Mm-hmm.
Now that we know what we have to face here.
Mm-hmm.
It says exhaust this ability to defeat one creature in a line, then gain 1 range until the end of the round, because the barbarian is normally melee, so now I have range for the barbarian. So I will pick, we had...
Didn't we have the Acolyte here?
The Acolyte here. I think we'll get rid of the Acolyte.
Yeah, because we don't want to...
Kill that. The Acolyte actually would have, when it revealed, you would have taken summon from the graveyard and shuffle it back in, and if you got the first position, you place the top unhollowed into the horde. That's for the end game, so yeah. We don't want that to happen.
Acolytes are always the worst.
Right. Now, the Coffin Rat Swarm is only an 8.
Uh-huh.
So if I wanted to use expertise on it, I could...
No, you need to collect first.
I need to collect first, you're right.
But you could kill it with your 8.
You could kill it with the 8.
And you have an undead...
Now I have an undead...
Now you're good at fighting undead.
Now the bounty hunter has a trophy, which I could trigger off of the use of some other ability. So move this up, I'll reveal that.
Todd, who is your favorite character from both sets, including everyone?
Both sets. It's a toss-up between the wizard from the first set and the monk from this one.
You still love the wizard, huh?
I like the wizard, yes. I like the variability of swapping out characters. I think that's fun.
The polymorph?
Yeah. Because even if you're not doing damage, you can still assist somebody else to make their character better.
That's a good question.
And the monk, which we don't have on the table now, I just like martial arts in general. So the fact that we have a character that simulates that is fun.
Well, yeah, and you specifically didn't choose the monk because you're like, we're only playing 5 rounds.
He
gets stronger as you play. It's not as important.
Yeah, it would be over multiple games. You'd see the monk get stronger as you upgrade their die.
My favorite character. It's hard for me to choose.
I can tell what his favorite character is already.
Go ahead.
Yours is the witch and the bounty hunter.
They're
Those are the ones you
favorite.
always gravitate towards.
They're mine from this set.
Yeah.
But I still have a special place in my heart for Beastmaster.
Yes, that's true.
So if I had to choose one over all of them,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, Witch is tough. Like, these dice rolls suck. Like, Witch just had a huge whiff right there. So right now I'm sort of down on her. I do like Bounty Hunter a lot, though, because that Release the Beast thing is so hard to set up, but it can potentially kill like 3 creatures.
Right.
So like I like how you have to work. You can work really hard, but then do really powerful things. I like engine building in general, so I tend to like the engine building characters.
Well, I can start doing some stuff here.
Yeah, I know I can't do much as the Witch over
I'm
here.
going to use the Bounty Hunter. I'm going to get some more trophies while I'm at it. I'm going to take the giant bat.
Okay.
Kill that.
Forest creature.
As a first position, if there's a vampire in the graveyard, it would swap with it, but there isn't one anyway. But now I have a forest creature and undead trophies. I can have up to 3 trophies, and I can trade them in or use them to do different things. And this moves up. Now we see the last. No, we don't see the last one yet. And then
you should be able to clean up now.
Yeah, the barbarian's got some good dice now. I can use 8 on the clockwork soldiers.
Because you got range.
Yep. Now I have to decrease the value of all my other unspent dice. So that's going to be a 7
and a 4.
That's the clockwork.
They're ticking you down.
They tick you down every time you attack them. All right, so that's... I get the last one, which is the Floating Mine. It's an ongoing. Abilities can only be activated with a die result of 3 or higher. So that could be...
I think we've got it in dice, though, because you can you can use 7 with Barbarian on Floating Mind.
Yep, I got that.
And then I've got 2. I got 2 hits on the Goblin Scouts, and you have 6.
Yep, I got 2, 4, 6, so we can take care of that.
Yeah, so we had 1 extra.
Right. So we got through that round. Not too bad. I have 1 damage with the Barbarian, but you kind of...
That's what happens.
But that's what you do with the Barbarian. It's planned damage.
So we don't have to exhaust any extra abilities because nobody got through. So we just need to roll our dice.
Oh,
2, 3, 4 straight.
11, 11, 6. Eight, 6, 2. Not too bad.
2, 3, 4. And my cat's gonna be back.
Now we're going to see the next location here.
Oh, that's your favorite location?
It is. It is my favorite location. I don't know if you can see well in this...
I can hold it up
put
here.
It up there. The tall grass. You see goblin ears sticking out of the tall grass like velociraptors.
We can also try this. It's better. Yeah, they're like
So it's only 6. It's -1 to the fire, which we didn't do yet, right?
Nope. And the downside is each time a creature with a first position power is revealed, they move forward 1 space.
Right, so they could possibly jump you.
So what happens is they sort of creep forward, and you end up getting a lot of first position powers triggering that you sort of didn't expect. You rolled amazing.
I did, but I also have 2 6s. And I could trade in my trophies if I go to camp.
You gave money?
Yeah.
I don't mind that. I like money.
And I can give you something. We got some good stuff here we should be able to buy. I think the bounty hunter.
Okay.
All right. Take token. The bounty hunter's going to camp.
Okay, so you're going to do your ability for sure, right?
I'm doing my ability. The camp ability for the barbarian is I can collect bounty. I could discard up to 3 of my trophies to the graveyard to collect coins equal to the total damage of the discard. So that's going to be 2 coins right there.
And we take that from the supply, not from the board.
Right.
So I'll put that here.
So we got 2 coins right off the bat. I'm going to do another heal. I'm going to give you
Omen back?
your witch back,
Okay.
your ability back. And for the last one, I'm going to check map because I'm greedy and I want the money. That's going to give us 4 coins.
So we can go... We're currently going to the gated city.
Yep. Which is 8 creatures -2 to the fire, and...
Or we can go to the sunken civilization, which is 2 fire, 9 creatures.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with this one. It's 8 creatures, and there's a bonus here. So I'm going to stick with
You don't
that.
want 9 creatures?
No, I don't want 9 creatures. Our barbarian only brought enough weapons to kill 8 creatures. Alright, so now all 3 dice for the camp board are done. We got 4 to spend. We can afford either a bolster scroll, which is basically the same as a rune. Each venturer may choose to reroll any number of their unspent die. That could be useful, but it's a discard item. Endurance potion. Recover a die spent on ability. That ability may be activated if the die again this turn. That's pretty good. I want to do that. Spend my four coins. I'm just going to restock over here.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get the endurance potion. I'm going to give that to you.
Okay, I'll do Artificer.
Artificer sounds good. And then we refresh the one we did. Now it's an illusionary shield, which is 5.
Man, we got some of the big equipment ones.
Yeah. Okay, so the camp phase and the merchant phase is done. So now we put out our 6 creatures. Here we go. First one. Oh yeah, Frostworm. We forgot about him. We didn't scout ahead.
You got greedy.
I did get greedy.
All right, we lose fire.
We lose, but it's first position, so we gain 2. Exhausted abilities.
Okay, we gain 2 fire from the fire pendant. Let's do that first.
All right. We would have gained 2 and we lose 2 because it's for exhausted, so it's neutral. It's not so bad.
Well done.
Yeah. The next
so we still see the next one.
Next one we see is the other scarecrow, so we have to spend our highest die on it.
Okay.
Well, I got some melee stuff here. I can knock that out for an 11. 1 die. Still
I mean, definitely, if you can kill the Frostworm for 11, I say do it.
I'll kill the Frostworm to spend 11 from the Barbarian. Move the Scarecrow up.
That's our own.
Floating Mind. It prevents us from spending die on abilities unless it's 3 or higher.
Really hurts the witch.
Yes. I do not have range at the moment, so I can only use direct damage with my abilities.
I'm considering hexing.
All right.
So hex would negate the next X creature powers that are in first position. So I could hex Floating Mind in the next 3 cards. And I also want to show hex because it's one of the more complicated abilities.
That is good.
So it's a good example ability for people. So I think we actually tell you in the rulebook to do it this way. But what I do is I take the die I'm spending on hex and I actually put it in first position so we know it's sort of hexed and being influenced. And then each time someone moves in, I'll tick it down until it's 0 and then I'll take it away.
And you're just telling what hex does to it.
Yeah, so hex is going to negate the next X creature powers that are in first position. So I spent a 4 on it, so it's the next 4.
Yeah. So now I don't have to spend my highest die on the Scarecrow.
Yes, you do, because it's the next.
Oh, it's the next one. I'm sorry. The next one. So
it's going to be Floating Mind.
So
like
I still
I'll
have to
negate.
spend 11 on there, unless you got a way to do it cheaper.
I don't. Yeah, I can use Artificer Staff. Once per round, you may defeat a revealed creature in line with health equal to or lower than your current charges, and lose half your charges. Right. So I'd lose 4 charges, but I'd kill.
Did you kill that Scarecrow?
Yep, kill the Scarecrow.
Floating Mind.
So I hexed. Floating Mind's ability is now negated, so Floating Mind's restricting us to only using 3 or greater numbers on our dice is gone.
Right.
Which is going to open up Artificer now, because I had a 2 and a 3 and a 4. So now I can actually use some abilities.
Now I could just kill that one straight up.
Yeah, but hold on.
You want to wait?
Well, I'd like to use Soul Drain.
Sure. You want to wait for the last 3?
No, reveal 2 creatures in the line, then gain charges equal to the total damage. I want to get my charges back.
All right, fair enough. So we have Crawling Ooze and Goblin Scout.
Okay, so what was my total damage?
3.
I'm back. I'm up to 7 charges.
And we're going off the damage, which is what they do to you if you can't stop them.
The scratch, the shield scratch. Okay, so now we know what we're facing. Coffin's Rats is just a 6.
Yep. Should we take it out now? This is also, yeah. So.
You don't have range anymore, though.
Just I can take this one out.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. 6 even.
Okay. We'll take out Floating Mind. Coffin Rat's ability is gone anyway, but it's neutralized. Can you kill Coffin Rats? I can.
I can. I only got 1 dice left. I should use my ability. Voracious won't work because it only works on forest creatures and humans, which aren't any up. Bloodied, exhaust this ability to increase the maximum die. It's neat, but this won't be killed with direct damage. So
I'm gonna use my passive to show it off, and because it may help us out of the situation if I can get a 6. So I'm gonna grab Bolster Scroll, and then Quick Craft lets me use it till the end of the round. So I was just gonna use it and discard it, and it'll let me reroll my dice. I'm gonna reroll all these dice. This is bad. This 2's bad too from the witch. Same thing. Oh, even worse. Oh, that backfired.
Backfill. Actually, no, should wait till.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna do. I mean, I could. Well, here, I can do my 1. I'll spend my 1 in the cat.
Okay.
To kill the coffin rats.
Right. Now, the other way to get rid of the crawling ooze is to basically feed it an item. You could feed it the fiery pendant.
No, we want fiery dependent.
Well, we're
gonna be okay.
Well, the barbarian cannot kill it.
Why
I can only smash it. And that won't
Why
work.
not? That's gone.
Oh, it is. The ability is gone. You're
it's
correct.
hexed.
Oh, so I could kill it. Might as well do that, then you can get it. There you go.
Okay. So this is the final thing. We hex that. But, now the hex is over. We need 7, which I do have perfectly.
Nice.
So I guess I would do that. I'll just spend the rest of my dice, and I have 7. I could have omened. I was thinking about it, but I'm gonna move the cat over here. You guys don't need to see the cat. It's just an extra dice for the witch.
Any other questions?
Yeah, if you are looking to sleeve cards in the game, are they standard size or a different size?
Is that under the FAQ on the sleeve sizes? Did you put that up?
On the Kickstarter page?
Yeah.
I may have put the sleeve sizes up, but I don't know if I have the total card count.
No.
I may have put in an update. So the cards are standard size. Like these cards are standard poker size. Like any standard card sleeve will work on them. The item cards and ability cards are the same size. I think they fit in these sleeves. These are FFG like mini card sleeves. But they're the same. The ability cards and item cards are the same card size, and then everything else is a standard poker card size. So hopefully that answers your question. I do not know card count off the top of my head. There's no way I know that.
All right, so roll your dice. Get the next location out.
Okay, let's see this.
Gated City, which we saw earlier, -2 to the fire. So now we're below our reveal, so we only get 1 reveal. It's going to be 8 creatures. Adventurers may spend 2 direct attack dice of any value to defeat any revealed creature in the line.
Okay.
That'll give us a little extra ability, so that's nice.
That's good with Witch, because Witch can just use garbage dice. Kill something. We're not going to be able to afford anything.
No.
With the coinage stuff currently.
I didn't roll that great with the Barbarian. But I only have one missing.
I mean, Witch rolled pretty terrible. 1, 2, 2.
Yeah, but with that, you can actually kill something. 2 twos actually can.
Yeah. Something big.
Yeah.
Or 1 and 2.
What do you think?
I mean, that's really bad.
Well, it has to be the Barbarian or the Witch, because the other 2 have gone once.
Yep. I mean, I'd go off total dice roll. Well, you can heal, so let's go you, because you can actually get a card back for free.
Okay.
The Witch isn't hurt.
All right. The Barbarian's going back in. She gets her loot back. I'm going to actually take the equip action because I want the money. I'm greedy. It goes 3 coins right there. I want to chop wood. We need to get some of that in there, so I'll be back up to 8. And I'm actually going to chop wood a second time.
And build us some.
Build us a little cushion there. It goes up to 10.
One of the characters we're working on is like a pyromancer, fire sorceress, who's going to make. You're going to manipulate the fire a lot.
Okay, so the Barbarian's done. I got the merchant phase. We have 4 coins, but we can't buy anything right now.
So now we get to show that example from that question earlier, which is
we get to draw an extra one. This is a firewood, so it's a discard. You get +5 to the fire when you discard it. You do it from camp or on watch, which is unusual. Most of the stuff are for on watch. All right, so I would have to cover something up. I want to cover up the sword because we're not going to. It's the most expensive. I don't know if we'll be able to get to that this turn. This game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're not going to have as many coins as normal.
Yeah, but if you had enough coins, you could buy down. You could buy multiples. You could buy past this one and get the next one if you had enough coins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if we had 11 coins, you could buy one and the other.
So, yeah, so you are choosing what to bury, but it doesn't mean it's buried forever if you buy it back to it.
Yeah, they never lose that stock. It's just like they acquire new stuff every round, basically.
Mm-hmm. All right, so now we get our...
How many are we seeing again?
We're
It's
seeing
more than last time.
8 creatures. Oh, how many are we seeing? We're seeing 2, we get 8 creatures.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I meant how many are we getting?
All right, so first one.
Oh, yeah.
There's our summon. Choose one adventurers immediately exhaust. And then replace it with the top unhollowed. So
I'll take premonition because my dice are so bad it's not really gonna work.
Okay, so you're gonna take that. Top of the graveyard.
That's horrible.
The Gorgon. First position, adventurers. As a group must immediately exhaust a number of ability cards equal to the campfire reveal level.
Horrible.
So we have 2 reveal, so we have to take 2 hits.
I'll take quick craft.
Okay. I'll take trophy swap because I don't have a trophy right now.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
that's really interesting. I don't think we've ever seen that.
But
where the Gorgon summons into first position like that.
No, that's
like
rough.
we weren't watching.
It's rough, yeah. All right, so but it was a first position, so we do get 2 more Woods of the Fire.
Okay, what order does it happen in, designer?
Well, the first position has to trigger for the power to trigger off.
Okay.
So it's gonna be
that. That's a good answer, then.
Yeah. And then we reveal the next one. Our next summon, awesome. We put 2 summons in here and decided to smack us at the same time. Who's taking the hit?
I mean, I could do Soul Drain.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, maybe I should do Hex. I'll do Hex. Because the Witch has to rest. Any Blood Ritual.
And now we have Prince of Vultures coming in. The 9. When you defeat it, after moving this card to the graveyard, shuffle the graveyard into the creature deck.
That's horrible.
So it would make us reshuffle all our summons and all the cards back into the deck.
Well, we can't stop that unless I Hex.
Yes.
Which I negated.
Now we have one more reveal. No
yeah.
whammies, no whammies. Enchanted Golem. Ongoing. Enchanted Golem's health is increased by the total items equipped by the adventurers on watch. So right now it is a 10 because we have 2 items on watch. Actually, no, this one's not on watch, so
it's
only 1. So it's a 9.
That's not bad.
Actually, with that, he was in camp. That one. Yeah,
I would trust you. You've got the rulebook over there.
Yeah, I think we messed that one up.
Well, we saw it. It's too late. But what we'll do this. But since we know what it is, we know what it is.
Sorry, so all
right. Here's what I'll do. I'm going to spend a 3 on Siphon Vortex, defeat the creature in first position, then move an unrevealed creature into a position, and gain the number of charges equal to the number of creatures currently in the line. So I'm going to defeat her, and then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'll gain 7, which is going to max me out, because she only goes up to 11 charges. And then I'm going to pick a card. Let's do this one. That comes to the front. Uh-oh.
Reveal. Sealbreaker Acolyte.
I chose poorly.
Choose one. Either the adventurers as a group spend 2 dice of the same value, or place the top unheld behind the Sealbreaker Acolyte in the line.
I will spend... This feels like a good... My witch has doubles. I can spend 2 2s to stop Sound of Doom from coming in.
It doesn't kill it, but it keeps it from summoning another.
I keep the seal. The seal is maintained.
Yes. This is rough.
Wow, remember when we had really easy rounds before and we were crushing it? I was like, man, maybe we've gotten...
No.
This game's really easy.
2 summons back to back with 2 unhollows is rough. All right.
You didn't do the pandemic setup where you split the deck into half and shuffled it to the top and bottom.
No,
You're supposed to, though.
No, I shuffled them up first. was only a 5-round game, so we're trying something new.
you're right. Yeah, that's true. I guess setup can be different for a 5-round game when you're not going to go through the deck.
All right, well, I can take the Seal Breaker out straight up. That'll give me a trophy at least.
I mean, I can kill anything with my staff. My Artificer staff is all charged up, so I can kill anything that comes up that's big. I could use my Endurance Potion. Is this for me only or for anybody?
You.
I could use this and do Siphon Vortex again. Right? Recover a die spent on ability. That may be this breaks the rule of an ability can only be activated once per turn with the dice, right?
Yep. I think it's worth doing. We're in a bind here.
We're in a bind? Yep. All right. So I will use the Endurance Potion. Drink it up. Reroll this dice to 3 again. So I'll just use it. Defeats a 9 in first position. This is going to reshuffle the deck back into here. I'll shuffle that. No, I picked somebody to put in first position.
I was just moving up. I didn't.
I know, but I got to pick one.
Okay.
Last one.
Last one. Reveal. An adventurer with no exhausted abilities must immediately exhaust 1. Well, we're already beat up, so that doesn't hit us, which is nice.
The forest creatures... Todd made the forest creatures nastier in this one.
Yeah. But it only hits you if you're really doing well and you haven't been damaged yet.
Okay, here's what I think I should do. I just shuffled this because of the vultures. I mean, this is only a measly 1. I guess I can save it because of Gated City, but I was thinking I could Omen, I could peek and swap. I mean, I could exhaust Siphon Vortex to kill. Here, I can use a 6.
You might have to.
I'm going to use a 6 on the
I don't see any humans for my hunter to get a
I'm going to use the 6 on a spider.
All right, use a 6
it's
on
perfect,
spider.
right? Because you can 8 the...
Yep. We'll see what we got next.
Well, you can 8 the Enchanted Golem, right?
Well, it's a 9 right now.
No, it's not. I spent the...
Oh, you're right. It's down 8 now. Oh, good. It still didn't trigger. So I got lucky there. That's where we're at. All right. All right, so I can 8 the Golem. That's perfect.
Okay, poison spider doesn't matter if it's in first position.
Yeah, and then also, since we're all damaged, it can't hurt us right now. And then we'll do the next one.
I'm going to straighten this out.
Wandering Giant. His health is increased by the number of locations in the location discard, which is
3?
a pile here. So
yeah, the location discard's obviously the cards you've been through so far.
So it's an 11.
I actually really like that ability in that art. That's one of my favorite monsters from this set. So I think it's cool that he gets stronger as the game goes on.
Yep. And he is a giant and forest creature, and I have a human here, so that is not going to help me with my expertise ability. So
well, is that all you have left? You're beat up otherwise?
I have a 2, yep.
Oh.
It's maybe bad.
I can exhaust Siphon Vortex to kill Spider.
Did you use your staff yet?
No. I saved it because I knew we'd need it.
Oh, yeah.
I think I exhaust Siphon Vortex. I think I can do it. If I exhaust Siphon Vortex, it kills this. I have to bring that to first position.
Or Drake. Exhaust 2 abilities. Is it not going to help?
I should have peeked, man. I'll take Omen out because it's...
Yeah.
She has to rest, right? And she can be fully hurt.
Yeah, she's already can rest.
Wow. We need the Barbarian back.
Yeah, the Barbarian was carrying us this round. Game.
I could not kill Horde Drake.
That might do it.
Is Horde Drake going to kill us?
I think it will. I think it got us.
I should have... I mean, we could rewind and I could...
No.
Well, I mean, come on. We got plenty of time with the stream, so I'm going to cheat.
We can go over some of that
I don't want to reset it. We can go one more round at least. Here's what I'll do. We're still going to get a shit ton beat up.
Well, so you can kill the Wandering Giant, but not the Drake, right?
Yes, I can. Because any 2 dice, Gated City.
Oh,
okay, let's play. Right. We're okay.
All right.
We'll take it.
So, see, we did it.
All right, so I'm going to use the Gated City ability with the 2 low, and then I'll use this.
To kill the Wandering Giant.
And then what do? I lose half my charges.
Round it up.
So
we did make it. We just really, really hurt.
Yeah.
So we made it 4 of the 5 rounds. So we'll
No, this is our 4th round.
This is the 4th round?
Yeah.
Oh no, that's even worse.
And then our white cards are a reminder to talk
true.
about our other stuff.
So you have to go to camp.
Yeah. That's why I beat her up completely.
Yep.
Oh, she rolled terribly too.
Oh, and we didn't refresh the. It doesn't matter because we're not going to get a buy round.
Where were you? Yes, we will. I will right now. You chopped wood, right? You
Yep,
didn't
I
check
chopped
map,
wood and
you didn't scout ahead.
Yep, and I equipped. Deal. There you go.
You also have been chopping woods up here.
No, sorry. All right. More dice.
Well, witch rolled terribly, so. All right, witch has to rest.
Oh, terrible.
I'm gonna get hex back.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to use your camp ability?
Yeah, I'm using dark magic. Choose an adventurer, refresh one of their ability cards, then either add the top card of the creature deck to the horde, or draw an additional creature from the creature deck this round. I'll add it to the horde. Who am I healing? What's exploit do?
Defeat a revealed creature in line whose type matches one of your trophy types.
For die. And expertise is passive. You don't have a lot of trophies, though.
No, I don't.
How about Siphon Vortex back? Since
Yeah, I think that's our big gun for this one.
Okay.
I'm not. Barbarian's all up, so.
What else do I want to do? We're okay on fire, right? Checking maps pointless. I'll scout ahead. Don't we have coins here? Took our coins away.
I did have. I put them over there. There's 4.
Right, and I just got 2 more, right?
Yep.
We had 4, so we should have 6.
Yep.
Okay. What should I do next? Chop firewood to C3. I could equip Blood Ritual in. Because as which is one of my favorite characters if Blood Ritual is in play. I feel like we're going to need Blood Ritual potentially. I'll do it. We've shown Hex. Equip. I'll swap out Hex for Blood Ritual, so I have a big gun when I come back. Okay. And then, so we have $6. We're definitely gonna buy something.
Yep. We need help.
So what do you think? Illusionary Shield or Helm?
Well, if we do this one, we're just gonna have to face it again.
Let's do Helm. Since Helm is cancel a creature's reveal power that just triggered. So if we run into one of those situations where we flip over something really bad, Bounty Hunter can wear that helmet. It matches his his gear.
That's good one.
All right, Carnival of Fear. Let's go over this too, because we didn't even talk about this. At the end of the watch phase, adventurers as a group must exhaust 1 additional ability card of each creature entering the horde.
And we didn't drop the fire down. So.
Oh yeah, this is the like kill you if you lose. If you like don't clear the line here, you like lose. That's this card. Where every creature does extra damage when it comes in. If you're gonna lose, lose quick.
That's right. 7.
That was our philosophy with that card.
Okay, so the first one. First position, swap with.
I don't think we have one. Because we reshuffled the deck.
Right.
Because of the vultures.
Yep. We didn't run into a vampire yet anyway. So more reveal. Scoundrel. If it gets to first position, that will give us 2 fire. That triggered. Discard all the coins from the camp action space with the most coins if it gets to first position.
So it'd be either one, but...
Yeah. But we won't have another buy round this.
Yeah, but I should fill up the coins now.
Yeah.
It's more coins then.
That's where we are.
I'm gonna reveal 2 creatures.
Sounds good.
Next 2. And then I'm gonna gain charge.
Summon.
Okay.
We gotta exhaust one. I
can exhaust Soul Drain. Just use it. It just
right.
gains charges.
Alright, that's good.
Here's a question.
Yep.
It's reveal 2 creatures. Do I get this as my charges? I think so.
Yeah. That's the creature that's going to take the spot.
Okay, I get 2, and then what else? I get the next one. What's the next one? 7.
Bone Knight.
Up to 8.
Yeah. So the Sound of Doom, every time the Sound of Doom changes position in a line, add a creature from the creature deck to the horde. So if we kill anything else before this,
I'll kill
move,
Sound
it's
of
going
Doom.
to die.
I'll kill Sound of Doom.
Okay.
Unless you can't reach him, right?
I can.
With Trophy Hunter?
I can reach him with Barbarian because I have Leap.
And it kills any card?
Yeah.
I'll use this blast because then I can charge it up again.
All right.
So I'm down to 3 charges.
So you're killing Sound of Doom.
Because now when I Siphon Vortex, I'll actually charge it up. I should probably do Siphon Vortex now, unless you can kill. Can you kill the Scoundrel?
I can.
How about here? Do you want to get like Giant Bat or anything?
Well, here's the thing. I want to exhaust Voracious because I could kill a forest creature and the human for 1 exhaust.
Oh, do it.
So I'm going to do that. I'm going to exhaust Voracious. Allows me to kill any humans and forest creatures, showing which are both of these. This will move up. See the next one.
There's the Vampire.
There's a Vampire.
Bone Knight is, if there is a revealed Unhallowed or Acolyte in the line, add Bone Knight to the end of the line instead of Graveyard. So right now, he is okay. He can be killed, right?
Yep. And on reveal for the Vampire, we have to steal the highest available spent die and add to it the Vampire's health, which is your 6, right?
No, these are my spent 1.
That's your spent 1? Right.
That's not so bad.
So that's a 5. That's not bad at all.
So the Vampire is only a 5.
I could still leap, but I'm just going to exhaust me, so I'm not going to be able to get that back. We want to save that for next round.
I'd save it. So I think we're doing okay.
I think we're okay. Nice. How about I start collecting stuff with the...
Well, I would propose with the Bounty Hunter, you collect the Bone Knight.
I think you...
Or I mean the Vampire, because you can only spend 1 dice. Because the Vampire's a 5. Because look, I was going to Siphon Vortex. I'll Siphon Vortex the Bone Knight. With my 3.
Well, I can kill it with this. Why can't I only spend 1 die?
I know, but I'll kill him with Siphon Vortex, and then I'll get 3 charges.
Okay.
I'm up to 6. So I can't let my... If I let my charges get to 0, then I'm going to be really weak next round.
Wandering Giant.
Okay, now you can kill Vampire.
7. Kill that. Dragon. Now I got 2 trophies, Undead and Human.
Coffin Rats.
Alright, so...
You can passively kill the Coffin Rats.
Not exactly.
What?
I could do it... I could kill it with this. That's not going to help me because it only doubles the attack.
Oh, it doubles the attack.
So that's going to give me 4.
Ah, I see. You have to spend your 7.
Right. But I could wait and do...
How much is this guy? He's 9 plus 4?
I could do it just on dice here.
Oh, you've got him. Okay, you got a Barbarian.
Yeah, so I could do this with the Barbarian, 8 and 2.
No, he's plus 4 locations.
Oh,
he's
yeah,
13.
Okay, so I could do 7 and 8.
Okay.
7 and 8. Kill this.
Or you take it as a trophy.
Take it as a trophy. That's my 3rd trophy. And then the last one's Coffin Rats, so we're 5.
I got a 6.
Yeah, so you can do. You don't even need me to do it. You can do it with 6. So,
I saved my 6.
All right, so we got that.
Okay.
The neat thing also about the trophies, it seems like it's hard to get the ones you want, but you're also pulling creatures out of the line for when they recycle. So when you're playing multiple,
like holding this.
Yeah, pulling this out of the draw so it doesn't come up again is good.
You're all amped up now.
Yep.
Okay, so now in a theoretical campaign that theoretically had 5 rounds.
Yep.
We would probably have one of 2 things happen. We would either have a 5th location that sort of plays as a final location normally would in our existing game, where it's everyone's fighting and it's a little bit longer. But we also may have cards that, I just wrote Book of the Dead on this card. We may have reward cards or items that you get, or like story cards that add to the campaign.
It's some kind of unlock, either a new character item or some bonus ability that'll pop up.
That you would get by completing the mission.
Yeah.
But this also gives us a good idea of how long a short game goes, because we're probably at 30 minutes or so, because we talked when we started. It's not even 2 o'clock yet, so you want to play the final round? What do you guys think? Should we open up to questions? You guys there's not a lot of questions coming to the chat, so I think we should probably keep playing. People seem to like seeing the new cards and stuff. So I'll have everyone in the fight.
Yep.
And I picked.
So we have no camp or merchant phase now, so we don't buy this round.
Each time an unhallowed is added to the line, adventurers may search the graveyard for the top unhallowed card and add that card instead of the top card from the deck. So the advantage of the broken altar is that it can't deck you out of your.
Yeah.
Do we have an unhallowed in there?
That's what I'm checking.
We can sort of choose one of two bad.
We have Sound of Doom in there. That's the only one we have.
So it's or Formless, which is 10.
Yeah.
Like he's one of the bigger ones.
Yeah.
Ooh, terrible roll there.
But the Formless also would when you kill him, it brings in slimes. So.
Well, do we have slimes in our graveyard? At least one.
Yeah, we have at least one.
No, we don't.
Nope.
Not currently.
Oh, okay. So it's not so bad. But we got 10 to deal with, right?
And we lost 2 fire, but we're okay. We're still at 8.
Okay.
One of the things we did too is we made the fire much less swingy. You like lose between 1 and 3 fire around.
We got the horde too.
I think so.
2, 3, 4, 6.
I actually may have shuffled one of the horde in here. Yeah, we've got 2 cards for the horde. Can we beat half a game with 2 summons? The answer is probably no.
2, and then.
I don't think we're looking good here. We don't have any items. We used up all our items.
I got 2 items. What are you talking about? Scarecrow. And Bone Man.
I think I should use my
Did we roll? Did we roll our guys?
Yeah, I rolled.
I didn't roll. Okay. That's terrible.
All right, I'm catting the first. I'm using my cat familiar to kill the scarecrow.
All right. Frostworm.
We need the barbarian to just start wrecking house.
I can do that.
I mean, I can blood ritual. I can blood ritual 3 and blood ritual 3 again and kill 2.
But I could just kill one, but I don't want to do that until I take care of this. But can I?
I'm ready to siphon vortex whenever we need to kill something in the front.
All right. Well, I'm good against the undead here. This might be a good time to.
You could spend your 5 as a 10.
Yep. I can do that. I'll spend my 5 as a 10.
Okay, but then Frostworm's gonna hit.
That's true.
I don't have a way of killing Frostworm.
I'll use Leap. I'll kill Frostworm with the Barbarian using Leap. So it kills it and it gives me 1 range. And now I can.
So now your dice, which is helpful. Get a lot of use out of.
Bring this up first.
No. What are you
Oh,
doing?
I'm sorry.
I didn't see him.
I didn't see that. So I can use this now to do a 10 because it's not really spending it on it. It's a passive. I just doubles my attack.
To something you have proficiency in.
Right. Well, it's not. I'm not actively spending it on there. So now we see the next one. Here's your ooze.
It was also above a 3 either way.
Yep. Now I'm going to exhaust Bloodied because it basically maxes out one of my dice for each of my exhausted abilities, including this one.
So it maxes out all your dice.
So it maxes out all my dice. So it gives me 3 12s, which I think will need every last one of them. And I have a 2 range. But I can't direct damage this.
Alright, here's what I'm going to do. Blood Ritual, 3rd position. Frostworm's dead.
Okay. What about Crawling Ooze? Any answer for that? I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I could Artificer Staff it. If I amp up. If I Siphon Vortex, I'll get enough for Artificer
It
Staff.
sounds like you need to.
Okay, I'll Siphon Vortex with my 1, Floating Mind.
That.
I'll pick that.
Oh, yeah, we got more back here. This one?
No, that one, yeah.
This one.
That one goes to the front. You can fill in the rest. Oh, there's another Floating Mind. And how many cards are in the line total now?
7.
So I get 7 charges. That maxes me out. That's the nice thing about Siphon Vortex, though. It really boosts you up. Now I can
Kill the ooze.
Kill the ooze. I was 4 charges. I lose half my charges.
Oh, there's another ooze.
For 5.
That's bad luck.
Well,
Oof.
if ooze can get into first position, I can kill it.
Okay, that's no problem. I can.
Then I can kill it.
Well, I'll have to use a 12 though.
Okay.
12 and the 7. Up.
And I'll exhaust.
Scarecrow.
I'll exhaust Siphon Vortex to kill ooze. And I'll bring the second to last card to the front.
All right. So bad. I'm gonna
hold on.
I spend my 3 and my 2 on Scarecrow because I can't activate any other ability. Or can I?
You don't have any abilities. You're all hurt.
Well, I already used. Whenever it's passive.
No, it's whenever.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and see if there's any
Goblin Golem.
Yeah.
Type.
Maybe I'll hold off. I'm gonna use this one on the scouts, then we can see the rest of them.
Well, we know that's the Unhallowed that we put in.
That's true.
I'm thinking let the Unhallowed move in here, I exhaust Blood Ritual, and I kill it.
Okay,
so whatever you kill next, I'm going to kill the thing after that. I mean, listen, I can spend my 2 4s. Here, how about, do you have a 3? 4 3.
Yeah. 4 3 on...
4 3 on Goblin Scouts.
Alright.
Dark Champion.
Yeah, so someone will happen first.
Take expertise. It's
yeah,
gotta be.
It's gotta be.
I think we're done though. We almost completely exhausted.
Yep. Got 1 left.
Okay. Well, who do we want this to be? Do we want it to be the Formless? I don't think so. We've got 2 oozes in the graveyard. We want it to be Sound of Doom instead.
Here's the deal. This one's a 13.
Yeah.
And it can't. If we combine dice, we exhaust an ability, which means we have no other ability just to kill it, do we?
I mean, I could exhaust Blood Ritual.
But then we lose.
Yeah. I think we're toast because of the summon.
Right.
I mean, we can play through it, but I mean, you can kill those 2 things. Well, what is it? If Dark Champion is defeated by combining direct attacks, exhaust 1 ability.
Yep.
So we have to do that. You used all your abilities, right? On the.
Yeah.
So I can kill it. I can kill the Dark Champion this way.
All right.
And then you would have the dice to win.
Right.
But we're all exhausted.
All exhausted. But that's not necessarily.
So it's a very close. It's a very close loss.
Yeah. That's not necessarily a bad thing, because since you're playing not with just the 4 characters you have, you'd have other characters to swap in and out. So if you
could rest these in a campaign.
Rest these and say, all right, we beat it, but we died doing it, and now we can use other characters and have these rest for the next realm,
right,
and then they would get some health back.
All right. Well, that was our playthrough, guys. I guess we'll open it up for questions. There's not much else we have to cover.
But as the game is now, that would have been a loss.
Right. In a normal game, that's a loss.
Yes, but in a campaign
we beat the mission.
And you'll have a wider arc of characters to use to swap out. So.
In this one, we would have beat the mission, but we would have had 4 characters who are sort of sidelined for several missions to come.
Yep.
I mean, it's good to see that you can lose in a short game. I like that. Because you know me, I said that it was too
tight.
easy.
Yeah, that was tight.
It was definitely like just barely lost. So that's good. That's good to see for something that this is the first time we've ever done a short game.
Yep.
Sort of made it up for some of this campaign stuff we're talking about.
Yeah, and when all our characters started damage, which you would not do in a short game where you're tracking damage from game to game. We made it a little harder on ourselves.
Oh, right. Because we came in like a normal setup. And normally you could take emissions in whatever order you want, and some of your characters may be fully healed when you go into it. Yeah, that's true. I hate losing, man.
If it was easy, that wouldn't be worth playing.
Todd knows. Well, you know that's why I like the new stuff better too. I like how much harder it is. So, I mean, I rolled really bad over here with the witch too. So I definitely accept some of the blame. I'm trying to think what else is going on. What else we were chatting about earlier in the car. Convention-wise, we'll be at Origins. We'll bring this with us to Origins, so we won't necessarily start by demoing it, but
Yeah.
depending on how we sell with other stuff, we may get to it. So we'll be if you're going to Origins in 3 weeks now or something, and want to stop by our booth. Our booth is 643. We can play there. We'll also have Lawyer Up with us and Few and Cursed and the RPG. And then after that, I think the next convention we may do is PAX Unplugged, which is in December and is obviously local for us. There's not a lot of information about it.
No,
I don't think people can register for it yet.
So we got another question there.
Okay.
So when can they pre-order?
As soon as I have a definitive arrival date with the shipment for the US, because our store pre-order is the US store. So as soon as I have a definitive date on that, I will open up the pre-order. Will be up on our website, shop.rockmanorgames.com or rockmanorgames.com will have pre-orders for this once I get the final. There's like a ship manifesto I'll be sent with the ship name and the quantities, and I can subtract. I'll know how much we have left, so I can put the stock on our store. So in a couple weeks, it shouldn't be long. I think we currently have the Pledge Manager open for address changes as well. We're going to need to close that because, I've already had to send them addresses, but I'll send them a final one before they start fulfilling. That's you pay for all the shipping sort of ahead of time, and whatever your address was currently, that's what I set in, and that's what they quoted me and charged me. So I'll send them a final address check just for the handful of people that have changed their address or need to change their address. We'll make an announcement so you guys can get that done in the next week or two in the Pledge Manager.
Before everybody who watches tears me up for not doing runes, I wanted to showcase the items and I got greedy. So if we did some runes, we might have done better off with the word.
Yeah, I didn't do runes either, and I had the witch with some doubles.
Yeah, we could have done runes a couple times and knocked out some of the horde.
I definitely had doubles.
But I really wanted to showcase the items as much as I could. So,
honestly,
and I also like playing greedy.
We knew it was a short game too, and I was a little arrogant. I was like, we'll be fine with one extra creature.
Yeah, it was a challenge. It's like I wanted the challenge of playing without having the runes help me with the horde, and I got smacked in the teeth for it.
Yeah. I would say typically, I think we counted how many items you typically get. I can't speak to a short game, but I guess we could figure it out. Yeah. But we bought... Dude, man, come on.
It never came up.
We never revealed power that we needed to trigger? No. So we bought...
Never came up that last round. That's what
we bought and used 4 items in a short game.
Was it just 4? You exhausted that one, right?
Yeah, I exhausted both of these. Okay. I would say in a typical full game, we see about 12 items. Yeah. About half the deck, half the item deck you go through. Yeah. Or you see or whatever, like you...
Yeah, in the longer game, you're going to be getting more money because you have more time to go in the camp and actually generating income.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to get through more items. And in a campaign, which we're planning for, you'll be able to save those items and then say, maybe, okay, this guy's got his max items. Maybe I'll bring this other character in. So I can give him a couple items.
We would have these items for those characters, permanently. Yep.
And you could discard them to swap them out. But if you didn't want to get rid of it, you can keep it on there.
Right. That's cool, actually. So even though they're completely hurt, we've upgraded them a little bit.
Yep. Because
they have items now. Mm-hmm. So even if we put them away in their envelopes and they charge up over however many missions they take to heal back up, yep. Does the bounty hunter keep their trophies? I guess we don't know. We've never... This is all theoretical.
Yeah, this is something we're thinking. I would think yes.
I would think yes, too.
Because also then, since you're using that same deck for multiple rounds, it would be beneficial to upgrade your trophies as you play multiple games to take the bigger creatures out, or the ones that give you the most headache.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, we're open to any more questions, but you know, I think we sort of covered everything we wanted to talk about as part of this stream. I guess as a teaser, we could go over some of the characters we're thinking about in the next game. Although, huge disclaimer that
I mean, they're works in progress, so they could change.
I mean, we could completely
change entirely.
We could completely just be like, this one doesn't work, and never come back to it.
Yeah, we're still in the design phase. Haven't play tested.
We're basically trying to come up with unique things we haven't touched on yet. So here, I'll switch back to this.
Question about.
Oh, here, I'll go. Question. I'm assuming you're able to play through the campaign as solo play. Yeah, just like the main game, you can play.
Yep.
It's always 4 characters. You can play solo or with 2 people, 3 people, however you want to do it. Okay, so one of the characters and ideas we're playing with is an Earth Giant, so we just use the art of our Enchanted Golem for now.
Yeah.
But the idea behind this character is that all of his special abilities trigger off the actual location number of creatures. So we don't have anybody that does that yet. So all the Golem's ability is like do damage based on the number of creatures you face. It's sort of like based on the location you're at. It's an Earth Golem. It's taking into account. It's playing off the location card. So because we don't have a character that does that. So that was a design space we think. We made up abilities around it. That character may or may not be a thing.
And you can never have enough big brawly melee guys.
Yeah. And you like the idea of having like a not male or female, like a sort of creature, like that's a mercenary or something.
It's a construct.
Yeah, construct. Then we have the pyromancer we're working on. I feel pretty strongly that something like this. Well, are we calling it the pyromancer or fire sorceress or something?
Yeah, we're still working on the name part because we have the pyromancer as one of the
the point is that
be a fire mage of some kind.
He or she will be about pulling your fire down and amping it back up. So she'll be able to pull on a lot of fire to do big punches, but then, she's going to have to spend dice to build them back up. So you may be able to kill more than one creature or a creature or 2 using the fire, but then you need to spend your dice to amp the fire back up or you're in trouble if you're only seeing one creature or whatever. What else do we have? We have a pirate or a corsair or something. I use the art for our game Seas of Havoc that's coming up because I had a piratey person. But this is sort of our pirate idea. I don't know. I think pirate's pretty straightforward. Mm-hmm. They gain coins, obviously. Like their passive ability is like as you kill stuff, you get coins, so they can be about loot. They can be more about loot. They've got gambling stuff where you reroll dice a lot. My favorite thing about the pirate is actually the camp ability, which is you put a dynamite card in the creature deck, and when the dynamite card is revealed, it blows up a creature adjacent to it. So he can sort of help you from camp for future stuff, which I think is cool. And then the other ones we're working on like a druid. That's going to have like a nature deck of forest creatures that you play off of. So you have sort of friendly forest creatures that you can...
Yeah, Druid was probably the one character we got the most requests for that wasn't in the game already.
And Druid is the first of the new characters at PAX when we used to have conventions in person.
Yeah, what are those?
The last convention I think you and I were together at actually was PAX East before... it was like right before the pandemic hit. And I grabbed note cards from your...
Yeah, we're just jotting stuff down.
Todd was playtesting the original Set of Watch, and as he was playing, I had this idea for the Druid and just started jotting down all the ideas for the Druid. A bunch of them have already been cut. I had way more... I've cut down the forest creatures in your parade down to 6. But you got to write down... It was like the brainstorming session had everything.
Yeah. And there's plans of having some hidden characters that you'll have to unlock by playing that game. So you go through and you go defeat an area, and that may be the reward you get is you unlock a new character. Or you may be forced to play certain characters in certain missions.
Yeah. I think the big decision we made for campaign, at least theoretical, which helped us, was locking the locations, like having like a region. You know, at first you sort of thought campaign, oh, we're going to go to, you know, you're going to go to all these location cards that have been in the location deck. And we kept thinking about like, well, how's that going to work? Like how we're going to need so many cards to not repeat, or we're going to have to draw weird lines through the map.
Yeah.
And once we decided like a region, you know, we have a snow region with all like the sort of snowy looking places, and you just use that same location deck, that helped us move forward.
So once is any plans for an alchemist crafting using potions? There's some stuff we're thinking of doing with merchants, but I don't want to get too far into it because that's very nebulous at this point.
That would be, yeah, we're experimenting with the idea of characters that would not be viable, like outside the campaign. Like,
yeah, there might be some characters that you're forced to play with that aren't the best, but you need to get through a certain mission with them. But you could still play them if you wanted to. They're viable, but they'd just be a little harder to get through the game with if you had to play every game with them.
So we have a couple ideas with that, but nothing with abilities written out. Like, at least as early as these are, at least we have like 5 abilities sketched, like shaped. We don't have an alchemist shaped at all. No. So we have the idea written down, but we don't have any. And I would also say that the artificer has some play with crafting items.
Yeah, like the one ability he used allows you to pull items out of the market, temporarily use them, and if they don't get discarded, they get put back.
Yeah, I mean, I could have quick crafted the illusionary shield or something if I had the ability. The only thing is then it goes away permanent. It gets discarded after or shuffled back in.
Right.
So you don't buy it and keep it forever. So the artificer has some artificing alchemy thingies. So it's not a theme that's totally unexplored. Did we mention anything towards the beginning, like updates or whatnot? I will post an update with this video to the Kickstarter, so you can watch the beginning of the video, tomorrow or the next day. I'll post it. I'll post an update to the Kickstarter page. We talked about shipping a little bit. The games are on their way to the US. Europe is still being figured out, but whether or not we make our goal, we got close enough that, that added expense is sort of taking away from money that could go towards developing some of the ideas we're talking about. But hopefully these games will get in stock and sell and do well to fund future development stuff down the road. Any other questions? Anything else we talked about at lunch or anything? I'm wondering. We're definitely going to end on time. Before, I think I said 1 to 3, but we're not going to stay on until 3, obviously. We could stay till 2:30 maybe.
I don't want to.
Anything else going on?
Does anybody have any questions from what they watched about gameplay? We mentioned the formless. Hold that up.
Yeah.
That's one of the new unhallowed.
My favorite thing about the formless is that we thought ahead, and even though we only had what do we have? Those oozes?
The slime, yeah.
Well, what are they called? Crawling ooze?
Yeah.
So we have crawling ooze, and we were smart enough to say that formless brings the top 2 slimes back to the graveyard.
Yeah.
Because we made the oozes, instead of saying the crawling oozes.
Yeah, so we got room for plenty more slimes.
So we can have more oozes and slimes in the future. I was like, that was a good call by us. We were thinking ahead at that point. I hate losing. It bothers me a lot. I was just thinking to myself, we should have had Todd. Todd is used to playing the monk, so even though we wouldn't have ramped up as much,
yes,
it would have been. Todd is very familiar with the monk and usually plays him, so I feel like we should have. Maybe I should have taken the bounty hunter. And
I know you hate
the
losing,
monk.
but I felt like I was playing to showcase the new abilities as much as win.
Yeah, I mean
So if I was playing more hardcore, I definitely would have done.
Yeah, it is hard to talk.
I wanted to buy and show items more than I cared about winning the game. So
yeah,
and even with that, we came into the wire where we killed it, but we lost at the same time. So
yeah, it was. I guess it was a tie. Can I go? Can I leave?
We'll call it a tie.
Yeah, but I think that's it for us, guys. Unless you guys have any final questions, thanks so much for watching.
Yeah, thanks for helping us get the game out of port.
Okay, here we go. Here's someone who was sort of late. He's got a couple questions, and these are fun. Most and least favorite character, or most and least favorite bad guy. We talked about our favorite characters before.
Yeah.
Let's go, but we didn't talk about least favorite characters.
Least favorite. It's hard.
I dislike the dwarf personally, because you know the dwarf has like 2 abilities I want to change. Like you don't want power creep, but like the fighter or whatever, he'll always be the dwarf to me.
Yeah.
And the ranger will always be the elf. But the dwarf, because he had that. I mean, I love cleave. Don't get me wrong, the like remainder ability, but because that had that recursive problem, like when we were making other abilities, I just feel like I would want to change berserk, and I would want to.
Yeah, the fighter is cool with an exploit if you have somebody else boosting him, but when he's on his own, it feels tougher to play. That's fair. I think fighter is probably the one that.
I'm just saying fighter compared to knight, right? Like when usually we always compare other D6 characters to other D6 characters, try to make sure we're not having power creep, that they all feel good.
But I mean, that's why but the fighter's the only one who can get wood back like crazy when you go.
I know. I mean,
so not everything is combat. Some of it's their camp ability. Like the cleric is almost more important in camp. What they do in camp is more important than what they do in combat.
Right. But I'm saying, I just feel like the fighter has a direct comparison to knight. They're both D8 melee, and I would go knight every time. So that makes me feel like I'd rather even take rogue before fighter with D6 melee.
Well, I think I feel the same way about rogue that you do about fighter.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think rogue's awesome.
It is, but it's the same thing. Like where sometimes you can have a feel bad moment where you're ready to go, but you're waiting on someone to help set you up. And a lot of them, you feel like you're doing something good while you're setting others up. So those can be the ones that can have a feel bad moment.
As far as bad guys, I don't think bad guys strike me. I don't know if I have a favorite.
Oh, the ones that everyone is the vampire, because people hate getting their stuff stolen.
Right,
and
that's certainly globally people's least favorite. Is people hate the vampire.
Then the new one,
even if it's not that strong.
Yeah, and the new one is probably the ooze, the crawling ooze, because you can't direct attack them. So they can get through. Yeah, by itself, if you don't have an ability save that could take them out and they pop up, you're like.
Or you have to exhaust an ability when you don't want to.
Or you have to get rid of an item.
Yeah.
So there is other ways to do it, but the vampire and the ooze are the most
hated by fans
so far. Yeah.
In favorite, I mean, that's more like art, I would say. Like, a look of something looks really cool or something. And nothing's coming to mind right now. I mean, I like a lot of the stuff. I always tend to like the newer stuff when it comes to that than the older stuff. So, anyway, thank you guys for all the questions. It was fun doing the stream. If you guys like this kind of thing, maybe we can do more of it, or I can do more of it by myself when I'm sitting here in my office, since we don't have conventions and stuff as much, development-wise. We actually play tested a game that's like super early before we sat down to the stream, so we could do stuff like that. It's like really early to look at. It's like stuff that may never be a game.
Yeah. For every game you see, there's probably half a dozen that don't make it to production because it just don't play out when you start putting them together.
And at least 20 more in spreadsheets and notebooks that you are just ideas that were written down that you never have. So thanks so much for watching. I'm glad we could share some good news about shipping, and that the end of the wait for this game should be near. I wish I had better news for European backers, but for the most part, the games. My hope is that everyone will have the game before the end of the year for sure. Hopefully, some people will start getting it in the fall. Again, it just sort of depends on how many delays we hit along the way. My experience has been even when you get on a ship, the ports are slower, train freight is slower, trucking is slower, like everything's sort of slower each step of the way. So stuff that would normally take like a week each, may take 2 weeks or 3 weeks depending on
Yeah,
to staffing and
that's
how
without
things goes.
people parallel parking in canals or super typhoons.
Right, but my hope is, my dream would be to have Set of Watch, Swords of the Coin in stock, ready to sell at PAX Unplugged, hopefully.
And
which is December.
And hopefully we're able to safely do conventions.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be in masks, so maybe we should get some Set of Watch masks or Rock
cool.
Manor Games masks. But thanks for watching, guys. We appreciate it. Thanks so much for supporting us, not only in the Kickstarter, but just watching, asking questions helps us, keeps us honest, and makes sure we're on the right track. And obviously donating this extra money in times like these where shipping has been absolutely bonkers is quite a relief, especially when you get these bills. The shipping bill for this game is definitely breaking six figures, because it was almost six figures without Europe on there. So, it really, really helps. It helps us so we can continue to work on future things, and we don't have to cut projects off or wait until games come in and are sold and everything's resolved before we can go forward. Here's the question.
That's a good one.
That is a good question. So maybe cheaper to make in the US, EU yet. So
we've had a lot of discussions about that.
A lot of people have brought this up before. Yeah. And the last game that we've gotten in stores was Lawyer Up. We delivered it late through Kickstarter. And we just got in right before shipping got really bad. It was like in April of last year, April, May, right before June in the summer. Shipping prices went up a bunch, but it was slow. And that game luckily is done pretty well in stores, and I would love to reprint it. And I contacted Ludofact, which is an EU and US manufacturer. Lawyer Up is mostly cards. It's primarily a card game. It has a cardboard tracker thing, and it has some wooden influence tokens. So I sent them the specs, sent them pictures of the game, and they literally sent me an email and said, we can't do this. The only wooden components they can do are meeples, and otherwise they need to do all paper sort of products. And more importantly, their minimum print runs are 5,000 units. So about 4,000 units higher than most Chinese manufacturers. So you need to bite off a lot more financially. I'm still trying to get an actual quote from them to really compare how much prices would differ. So for those of you that pre-ordered Merchants of Magic as part of Set of Watch, that game will have wooden potion tokens for everyone who pre-ordered it. But as a small box print and play game, I thought maybe we could change those potion tokens to cardboard just to get an idea of how much it would be to print it. And I'm going to get a quote to see how much that would cost for 5,000 units. But my guess is, we're making concessions. When you print in the US or EU right now, currently, you make concessions. So they cannot do miniatures. So any game with miniatures is completely out. Not that we have a lot here at Rock Manor Games, but any game with components like that. So things like Maximum Apocalypse, which we just kickstarted, are going to have to be done in China to get the plastic components done at a reasonable price point. And right now there's only two options in the US. Ludofact has said they can't do certain components, and Delano in general has been sort of questionable quality over the years. So I'll look into it just to see if I'm interested to know if they can do custom wood components or some of these components that Ludofact is saying they can't. But it's not just about price. It's about proficiency and competition. And right now there's not a lot of competition in board game printing in the United States and in the EU. So prices are higher and the proficiencies aren't as high. You go to China, there's 6 manufacturers in China that have good reputations. We've used 3 of them, and we've had a fine experience with all of them, and gotten a good quality product. So unless consumers change their pricing behaviors, I hope.
I don't even think they would work with the Kickstarter model, because you're looking at games and people want to have input on the quality of the game that comes out, and you're only going to have one choice, whatever they can make, and that's it. So you're not going to be able to upgrade components, upgrade card stock, upgrade boxes to try new and experimental things like a box lid that's magnetic, it opens into the board. You're not going to be able to have that ability to be creative and have that come to light. You're going to be, I got a box, I got cards,
Yeah.
cardboard bits, and that's it.
I mean, they can probably do something like this, which is a tuck box with cards only. The only question would be, could we match, the quality of card that we're getting here in the US? But that's probably much closer to do. I mean, worst case, if you sleeve your cards, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
But if you really need your card backs and colors to be exactly the same, like you could probably do, I mean, that's what sort of US shipping is sort of made to do. It's ready to print. I mean, it's unfortunate. I would love, from a timing perspective, we printed and shipped the RPG, Maximum Apocalypse RPG book from the US and Canada. I mean, it's a US company, but I'm pretty sure their printing facilities are in Canada. Based on what I've heard from other people in the comic books community, I think they print up there and just ship it across the border. But delivering that Kickstarter and that process was amazingly seamless. It was so fast. It was so easy. And I would love to have that for Set a Watch. I would love to be able to print this quality of product you saw on this stream with metal coins and wooden rest tokens in the United States with a magnetic box for, even if it was $3 more per unit, it'd probably be worth it for speed and ease.
Well, even with the Kickstarter process, you can actually put that up there as choices for people. Hey, this is what it would, if the options were available, you could say, hey, this is what it would look like. If you wanted to have an American copy, if the production was available, and here's if we had to ship it from China, and you can give people that choice, but the choice doesn't exist now.
Yeah, there's a really good tweet that someone else in the industry did that I saved, which talks about it's not just about manufacturing in the United States. Like, we actually need to have the infrastructure and the ability to do it. And it's like right now we've got these print-on-demand shops like the Game Crafter or some of the bigger offset printers like Delano and Ludofact, and they're new and they can only print paper and cards and cardboard. They're focusing on sort of the essentials, and hopefully over time, I'm hoping that they're more competitive and getting more business now. Maybe they'll invest in, wood engraving, laser engraving, and
it really is. The option is for someone who's an entrepreneur to create the business model for that. Like, the game companies can't do that. But if somebody actually had that expertise and they wanted to start their own publishing company that way, production company, that's where it has to come from. Someone has to be able to put their toe in the water and take those chances. I
mean, it's not something that, we're a small business. We're going to go where we can get the best product for the best price. And right now that's China. If it became the United States, I'd go to the United States. Right now it might be becoming competitive price wise, but I still don't think it's there for quality. Someone here is asking, I thought manufacturers did different things for the same project in this. And that may be true. I've never been to China and visited our factory. It may be true that Long Pack Games and Panda Games and What's Games and these and Gameland and these people we've worked with, they may be the place you go to sort of put your project in, and they may be using smaller subcontractors to get little pieces here and there for the game. But we have one point of contact. We're contacting one manufacturer who's saying they can do everything. They're pricing out everything for us, and whether they're doing it in-house or doing it with another smaller manufacturer down the street in whatever city they're in China, I don't know, but the ease of that and the quality that you're getting is great. So hopefully that answers that question. I mean, I don't think we have the answer for it,
but we looked into it because we had the same questions you guys have about that, and the expertise isn't there, the production isn't there.
I think the first Kickstarter game that I saw that's really doing it is there's that Earth Rangers game. That's like a card. It's like an LCG card game with wooden tokens. That was on Kickstarter.
If that's what your game needs, then you can still do it. But
they mentioned, because it's sort of environmental, that they were printing local when they can. But I'm sure they made sacrifices because all of the tokens are cardboard punches, and it's a card game strictly. And I mean, quite honestly, if you look at the pricing, I think you're paying what would be $40 from Fantasy Flight for an LCG core set was something like $60 for them on Kickstarter. So, I mean, that's the question too. Are people willing to pay more for for games like that? If the answer is yes, then great. Like we'll adapt accordingly. But right now if things are going to change, it's going to be slow and it's going to take a while. Okay, guys. Well, that was a nice tangent, but not the most uplifting thing to end the stream on. But hopefully, at least explains our stance on it. I mean, it's out of necessity. It's not out of choice. I feel like, at least, with the way things are now. It's what every major publisher also does in the industry. I mean, the reality is 90% of the games in your collection were probably printed and manufactured in China. Maybe 10% of the games you have weren't. A lot of those being like the Hasbro like games and like that are just a board and Candyland, some cheap cards and stuff. So thanks, guys. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.